Last month, I did some housekeeping and wrapped up a few little smaller parks and areas of the country that I might still be interested in for the US side. Now, I kind of want to do that for Europe, because that's where I want to focus going to summer. Get ready, here we go. I'm Lindsay, you're watching History and Leisure. Be sure to follow on Instagram, Threads, Bluesky, History_Leisure, as well as a Substack and my second channel, History and Leisure Echoes, where I post copyright-free footage and bonus material. First time I covered Europe extensively, I tried to pick a park for every country. Some didn't really have anything at the time. I did make up for Portugal in the previous series, though, with Looping Group. And speaking of Looping Group, they recently sold a park, so that is where I start. It's Pleasurewood Hills. You have the closest bus ends at Tesco's, like just outside the front gate, which is weird. They should extend that deviation, even though it's just seasonal. Then moving to France to a pretty interesting park that I didn't really know about is Parc des Combes. It's pretty close to a TGV station and 2 local stops away. Park itself is completely separate except for a few days a year when the park's train actually connects to the rest of the low-speed network. It's kind of a little tiny park. It has after Dreaded Man of the UK, it's the first Vekoma Family Boomerang open there. I think there's a Bound Coast as well, but definitely a very kiddie family park that just so happens to have maybe one of the most OP connections, even though they barely use it. Moving on to a pretty infamous chain. They had taken over Oakland, recently closed it, and that is Aspro Parks, and that includes a small sea life park that's getting Oakwood's Tivoli Bueyan, I think it's called. It's right on a main road in Bruges that goes straight to the train station there. 3 to 4 routes serve, depending if you want to count the A and B of the 70 as one route or distinct. And then the 2 Walligator Parks, Grand-Est near Metz. That has its own rail connection, but that's all it can say. Also, maybe I'm giving a bit more credit, but you can get a train to Luxembourg. But Sud-ouest, there is technically a bus that connects to downtown, and they're finally getting a major coaster for their anniversary. You know, that coaster's already 20 years old and probably pretty mid, and might even be worse having been relocated now, but hey, I'm glad they have more than a boomerang for thrill coasters now. I've quite forgotten. Park and Efteling. Park, I've done that myself. There's now some high-speed service that serves Ringsheim Station. They even renamed it to Manchester Park. The original Eurosat trains are above the bus bays there. There's only a bus over to Resort, but you can also just take taxis. I look great with that, so I just end up taking taxis to and from. There is a bus that does connect the train station to the park, and as well as the Kronostar Hotel in Atlantica. As for Efteling, they actually have a big bus terminal, not really with a big building, but pretty far corner of the parking lot is just reserved for a bus terminal. A lot of local routes. The 301 gets you to Tilburg Central in about half an hour, and then there is a bus to Den Bosch, which is about an hour. Then completing this little bit here in Finland, since I had covered Linnanmäki in the first round. Second round is continuing further north, where is Sarkaniemi. It has a ferry connection close by, and then I did give it a commuter rail station in my own idea. It doesn't right now, but it isn't that far from the current main station, even though I can't really get the points on the rail front. And then Power Park, even further north, there is only a train station close by, but it's only served seasonally. But then again, this park is only open for a very limited amount of year because it's so far north. Although it's 2 pretty insane Gerstlauers that may say were supposed to be the second one was supposed to combine with the original, but who knows if that's a true story or if that's just fan fiction. And I think that is all the parks I'm going to do for now. I mainly want to wait and see how the dust settles with Six Flags and then redo that. And then maybe there's other types, but it's probably either very obscure or be very seasonally oriented, so I'll just hold off until then. Until then, I'll be revisiting another list from 2020, my EU bucket list. Till then, comment, subscribe, and strike the bell.